Hey everybody, Frank here, Godzilla Island, with a long overdue of Godzilla Rivals vs. Gigan for the Mazer Squad. Now, like I've said before, I've got a big backlog of comics, but let's not talk about that too long. This one-shot came out last November of 2022. We're now in 2023, almost November of 2023. There was a lot of uncertainty around this comic for some reason. It was supposed to come out in spring of 2022, and its release date came and went, and then all of a sudden its release date completely disappeared. And then the Godzilla Rivals vs. Batra beat this one out. This one was supposed to be the second to last issue of the first Rivals run, and it ended up being the first issue of the second Rivals run, which pitted Godzilla's other Godzilla kaiju against each other, and it didn't really focus on Godzilla. We had the Biollante versus Destroyer, Mothra versus Titanosaurus, Rodan versus Ibra. We had a bunch of different verse in that one, which was really cool. I have not got to read them yet. Like I said, I'm very behind. But first one for the second round two. We're now in round 3 that just started with a Godzilla Rivals Space Godzilla. This is the second round, first issue. Let's delve into this one now. Obviously features Godzilla and Gigan. We're getting our Final Wars version of Gigan and Godzilla as well. Pretty cool story. It starts off in New Jersey, 2008, October 3rd. Follows a brother and sister in their little New Jersey home here, and she's just getting home from her college studies or whatever. She's a computer science specialist. It's Nancy is the sister and Joaquin is the brother, and they kind of just get home. She hops on the computer. She's like, oh, he's been playing video games all day. That's all the brother does is play video games. And he plays like a Mortal Kombat like fighter game. She hops on her computer just to see what's going on, and there's news of Gigan possibly attacking Seattle, and she's like, oh my god, what's going on? And then all of a sudden, we get this little cockroach thing on screen. It's sort of a throwback to Godzilla vs. Gigan with the guys turning into cockroaches. The cockroaches are basically saying, you know, the usual Godzilla alien spiel. You humans are undeserving of this planet. We're going to poison your land, sea, and skies, and we're going to take this precious resources from this planet. And we see Gigan attacking Seattle. There's just battleships, just the whole army's just been falling one after another. There's no stopping it. And the aliens are counting on Godzilla to appear because they're like, when Godzilla shows up, if we could defeat him, we'll show humanity that to do it. And this is a great 2-page panel. Look at this. Really awesome. So the two monsters begin fighting. Nancy comes out and she's like, listen, Godzilla's trying to defend Seattle right now, and the aliens are claiming they're going to take over the world, and he's just like, I'm busy with my video game. He's like, I have enough I've seen enough buildings fall, he says. And we've seen the background, a whole kind of 9/11 memorial here. We find out that his uncle, who they were very close with, had died in 9/11. He was a firefighter. So a little 9/11 reference there. And then we just get this comic, you know, compared to other one-shots from this Rival series, this one is just absolutely just loaded with action panels of Godzilla and Gigan fighting. So she's got it on the computer. She's watching this fight go down. A lot of back and forth. Gigan's kind of got Godzilla's number the whole time. Godzilla gets a few punches in there, and we go back to Nancy And Joaquin yells out, he's like, sorry. He's like, I just had a massive glitch in my game. Right when I had a sweet combo lined up, his game's cutting out. He's like, she's like, what the hell? She's like, whatever. She goes back to watching the fight. Godzilla and Gigan are just exchanging blows. And Gigan uses his little launching claw hooks to get into Godzilla, throws him up, and hits him with an uppercut. And then Joaquin catches that move out the corner of his eyes and he goes, wait a minute. He's like, I know that move. He's like, that's the move from one of his Immortal Conflict game. He goes, that's Buthita's harpoon attack. And she's like, whatever, get back to your game. So she goes back watching and she begins looking at it more. And his game glitches out again when Godzilla knocks out his leg. And then Nancy begins to put two and two together. She's like, listen, every time Godzilla gets a blow in on Gigan, Joaquin's game glitches out. She's like, what if the cyborg monster is somehow associated to his game? She's like, I'm going to hack the company that makes this game. Hexapod is the name of his console. Hexapod Games. And sure enough, we see at the headquarters here, it's being run by the alien. And you could see right here in this panel, the shadows, if you look over their heads, of these people is actually insect aliens. So all these people at Hexapod are aliens. Cockroach aliens, just like in the original Godzilla vs. Gigan movie, it was cockroach aliens. So what they've been doing is they've been gathering all the players' datas and counter moves to basically teach Gigan how to fight. And they learn all these combos. It's kind of interesting. And basically, Gigan is supposed to learn how to counter Godzilla's attacks by the fight from the game. And she goes, look at the cockroach symbol that showed up on the screen, and look at the Hexapod logo. She's like, isn't that a little close? And Joaquin's like, all right. So Nancy's like, let me use your console, and I'm going to just hack into them, and I'm going to make you the only player able to play this game here. So she hacks it, and she's like, listen, she's like, you got to stop playing. She's like, if you stop playing, Gigan's not going to learn any more counter moves. So Joaquin finally puts down his controller after just playing and playing and playing. That's all he does. And then at the headquarters, there's no more data being gathered. Gigan can't figure out what to counter. So Gigan resorts back to his primal state and just starts fighting. And this is where Godzilla gets his opportunity once again. And he gets into the action. He grabs Gigan's skull, crushes it, and he just slams him into the water. And he didn't even stand a chance. He bites Gigan's saw blade off his chest, shoots fire into the air, and then Hexapod, they're like, that's it, we gotta abandon ship here. He's holding Gigan's saw blade like in his hand here. You see the Hexapod ship gets hacked and they're losing control. They can't even control the ship because Nancy's controlling it, and she brings the ship straight to Godzilla, and he just whips the ship with Gigan's chest blade and saws it in half, and the aliens are defeated. And the last Hexapod employee comes back with the coffee. I don't know if he was an alien. Maybe he was the only non-alien one there. And he's like, what's going on? And the next issue is Godzilla and Rodan versus Ebra, it looks like. I don't know if Godzilla's actually in it, if he's just made the cover because of the series. I know a lot of the round 2 was just other kaiju versus other kaiju, but here's some of the other covers. This is the cover that I have. This is a Christian Gonzalez cover, C Guns. You follow him on Twitter, EJ Sue. And here's some behind the scene story concept art by Christian Gonzalez. Really cool, the Power Rangers series that we covered on the channel. Be sure to check that out. But yeah, I'm glad to be reviewing another Godzilla comic. I'm going to try to catch up on the Rivals series and bring you guys the Rivals reviews quickly over the next couple of weeks here. But thanks for watching, guys, and hope you enjoyed.